Hello everybody, Captain Marty here. We've made it through the week. It's Friday, July the 18th, and the wind blew a little bit. People had to work for what they got. Some went, some didn't. But here is what's going on. It's pretty good, really, and I'll kind of give you a few more details when I come back in just a moment.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
Hey y'all, Captain Marty here to tell you that when my friends are in the market for a new boat engine, repair, or repower, I send them to the best in the business, and that's at Ratcliffe Marine in Belhaven. Ratcliffe Marine is your official Honda outboard dealer. Honda motors are designed to get you on the water fast and get you back to the dock safely and quickly. Ratcliffe Marine is best known as the largest repower center in North Carolina. So when you're in the market for a new motor or you need your Honda service, go to Ratcliffe Marine, 865 Highway 264, Belhaven. So the Hatteras offshore fleet got blown out. That happens with a south wind or southwest wind because of the way the beach turns down there. But the Oregon Inlet fleet did get out. So the offshore fleet and the nearshore fleet and the Hatteras did not fish. They did have boats in the backcountry. We'll talk about that after the break here in a few minutes. The Oregon Inlet fleet did get out. I talked to my friend Captain Dickie Harris on the Fantastic, and he went out there, and this is how it works sometimes. He had 5 big tunas, like all of them 65-pounders, and a couple of dolphin, and the people after they'd caught, it was like 10:30 in the morning, the people said, "We've had enough, Captain." You got to think about that, though. That's 300 pounds of tuna or 100 pounds of meat once you have them loined out. So 100 pounds was all they wanted. They might have been tired. They could have been sick. Who knows exactly why, but they came back to the dock early. But the average tuna boats had from 4 to 8 yellowfin tunas. Some of that still on the kites, fishing kites. There was a few wahoos, and there was a few mahi. A couple boats had 15 or 20. But so as you can tell, if you stay with us every week, it wasn't as good as it has been. And then in closer to the beach, which a southwester doesn't affect everybody north of Diamond Shoals. So offshore Oregon Inlet, they're chasing these schools of big drum. That's really cool. Sight casting on some of the wrecks and stuff outside the inlet, and it's been very, very good. And then they're rounding out those catches with some nice, delectable bluefish and Spanish mackerel. So that's what they did on the inshore fishing. Now, pier fishing, here we go again. Jeanette's Pier, back down to 66 degrees. You thought, but it was so hot. Well, the air temperature is hot, but the wind is southwest, and as I always say, it blows the surface water off. The cold off-season, you might even call it spring or winter water, the billions of gallons of it that are down there comes to the surface. And so people from Ohio get down there and they're about to melt on the beach. The sand is too hot to even walk in sometimes, and they barge down there into the water, and when they jump in, it's pretty cold. 66 degrees. It was 76 the other day when the wind had come around out of the southeast. So that's why the water is on the cold side. Let me tell you something. I learned a long time ago, you can tell a lot about a person's personality by how they go into the water. So if you're one of those people that goes down and sticks your toe in the water and goes in an inch at a time, you're conservative, you're timid, you're being extra careful to not make a bad move. If you're one of those people that says, darn the torpedoes, and you barge down there and pile in the water and hit 66 degrees and you turn blue, you are carefree, happy-go-lucky, like I said, darn the torpedoes. So next time you're down on the beach, watch how people go into the water when the water temperatures are cool, and maybe you'll learn something about your wife or your husband. Maybe you shouldn't bring it up if you do. Anyway, Bonner Bridge had some sheephead. The Bonner Bridge is the old bridge across Oregon Inlet. They left part of it as a pier, just to the state's credit. They're having a good sheephead bite there. Avon Pier, Spanish mackerel, bluefish on a night bite after dark. That's really fun. Things cool off, go to dinner, and then go fishing. Most of the piers, especially on the north beaches, had spot and sea mullets. They had spadefish and sheephead too in small numbers. So that's what's going on the piers. The surf fishing very much the same. The North Beach had better than average spot, and sea mullet fishing. And Avon had a good croaker bite down there in the surf. You might say, oh, spot, croaker, give me some. I like to have a pan right now frying on the stove with some headed, gutted, and scaled croaker or spot or sea mullet. That's some of the finest eating there is. So don't be too proud to go for don't be too proud to be a croaker choker. All right, we'll take a little break, and I'll come back and talk to you about this really good trout bite that's going on in the backcountry. I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm LB Daniels, and when you want great local seafood, you go to Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese. How do I know it's great? My daddy is one of the fishermen that brings it to the docks. At Fresh Catch Seafood, you will get local seafood right from their fish house. They are a family-owned business that knows the name of every fisherman that comes to their docks. Visit their social media pages to see the latest catches. My daddy would love to put his tuna on your dinner plate, so get it now from Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese.
So in the backcountry, there's depends on who you talk to. Bob's Bait and Tackle up on the north end of the beach, they put up a report yesterday that said the trout fishing in the Sound was insane. That's a pretty favorable report, and I do know it's pretty good. But the Sound is a big place. All of them are. The Pamlico Sound, which we're mostly talking about, is 120 miles long and 30 miles across or more. It's basically a small ocean, and so it can be a lot of different things. But the trout bite is going on mostly all around. I've had people from Belhaven tell me it's a fair trout bite. I've had people from back of Hatteras having a very good trout bite. And I got some people fishing down around the south end of Roanoke Island and also up into the Croatan Sound and the Roanoke Sound. And they're having a decent bite too. And all these people are catching drum at all times of the day in all size ranges. But I'm not saying that it's a gimme. It's not a guarantee, but between the trout and the drum, if you know what you're doing, or if you spent the money to book somebody that knows what they're doing, it's pretty darn good fishing. There's also bluefish. There's some sheephead, some black drum biting, and they're even catching, I heard a couple catches yesterday of triggerfish in the Sound. That's a great fish to catch. Fun fighting, great eating, so got all that going on. Other than that, you better get your tournament shoes on, get your dancing shoes ready. The Dare County Boat Builders Foundation's tournament is going to begin at Pirates Cove with registration next Thursday. Come walk the dock, see everything that's going on, and then the fishing days will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can go to www.dcbbf.org and listen to me talk to the captains and record their catches as they happen all through the day. If you go over there and it's dead air, keep in mind if it's a slow bite, we're not chit-chatting, we're not on a CB radio going down I-95, but if it's a really good bite, it's some of the most exciting radio you'll ever hear. So I'm looking forward to doing all that. I'll be over there. I'm also the weighmaster in that tournament and would love for people to come out and say hello. If you've never met me, I'd love to say hi and thank you for listening to us and tuning in like you're doing right now. So have a great day. Just remember, it's a good day to be alive. May the good Lord bless you.